Hi guys, today we're making Macedonian Kifli filled with feta cheese and ricotta. Okay, so the ingredients are as follows. We have 3 packets of yeast mix. I use this brand. And I use 1 teaspoon of sugar and 200 ml of warm water. Okay, so first we get our 200 ml of water and we pour it in our bowl. And then we get our 1 teaspoon of sugar, pop that in there. And then we've got our 3 sachets of dry yeast. So we just pop that over the top, no mixing needed. Done. Now we just take our bowl and put it maybe in a sink with warm water and we'll leave it to rise. So now I've got my 6 cups of special white flour that I've put in my bowl here, and I've made a little well inside. So I'm going to pour in my 300 ml of milk, warm milk, my 125 ml of oil, which is half a cup, a teaspoon of salt. I measure just like this. That, pop that in, and then I've got 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3, and then we wait for our yeast to rise and we pop it all in and mix it together. I'll be back. While we wait for the yeast, what I'm going to do is we're going to make our glaze. I use 2 eggs to brush on the top of the actual kifli, so they actually go a nice colour brown. So two eggs, and then I just whisk it up. And then I just leave it to the side. And now I'll actually do the cheese, so just give me a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to crumble my cheese and my ricotta cheese. So I've got Australian feta. I like to use the Brancourt's brand. And then I've got also the Brancourt's ricotta. So as to how much you use, it's really up to you how much you want to put inside your kifli. So I just estimate roughly, but if there's leftover, even better, we can make something else with it. Go. You can even grate this if you like. I just crumble it. It's probably easier maybe if I did grate it. It's quite hard, this one too. And always remember to wash your hands before each prep work. You don't want any cross-contamination. Okay, so now that our feta is all crumbled, it's ready to go, we're going to add the ricotta cheese. I'm going to start with maybe just half of it first, because it's quite a lot. So we just use half of it, and just crumble that in as well. So fresh. Beautiful. Now just mix the feta and the ricotta all together. So you got that salty but then you got that little bit of bland, so it just balances it all out. You don't have to use ricotta, but I like to use it because I don't like it overly salty. And this recipe is actually my late grandmother's recipe. So I'm very proud to show you guys this one, because she taught me how to do most of my cooking. And I'm really thankful for that, because now I can pass it on to my children and on to you guys. Okay, so that's all crumbled up and ready to go. So we'll pop that to the side, and now stay tuned. We're gonna actually pop in our yeast mix into our flour. Okay, so I'm back now and our yeast is ready, and I have my spoon, so I'm gonna pop it in here. Even if the yeast doesn't fully rise, it doesn't matter, because it will rise while you're actually waiting, while you're making the kifli as well. Okay, so I'm going to mix that a little bit now. So I'll mix this here now a little bit, and then I'm going to put it in my KitchenAid mixer just to finish it off. Some of you might not like using mixers, you can use your hands, up to you. But I have 3 kids, so I don't have a lot of time to waste. Alright, so I've just combined that a bit together and ready to pop in the mixer. Here we go, our mixture is in the KitchenAid and it's ready to go. Start off on low so you don't get flour everywhere, even though you can see it's still coming out a bit, but all good. Keep going. And if you feel that the mixture is a bit dry, just add a little bit, maybe more milk, just warm milk. I'm going to use the same bowl, just washed it and dried it. I'm going to spray a little bit of spray cooking oil, and then I've got some flour here. Just flour it a bit just so it doesn't get stuck. Okay, and then we're going to take our dough out of the bowl. pop it in. The consistency is quite perfect. It's not soft, too soft, and it's not too hard either. Make sure you get all of it off because you don't want to waste any. You're going to make as many kifli as you can. Okay. I'm just going to fold it in a little bit. If you guys are wondering why I have plastic on my bench, it's just easier to clean up later. All I have to do is wrap up the plastic and throw it in the bin. Okay, so got that in there. Pop a little bit more flour in there. And then I'll pop that in there. Pop a little bit more flour on the top. And I'm going to cover it and let it rise just for about half an hour or so. You don't need to let it rise, but it's not summer yet, so it doesn't rise that quick on its own. And it's ready to leave on the side and let it rise for a bit. I'm back. Okay, so here's our dough that's proofed. Just a little, not too much. Just to get it warm. So it's risen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it on my dusted chopping board. Just going to fold it a little bit just to combine it. Okay, I'll grab my knife, cut it in half. And then I'll cut it in half. Actually, make it in 3. So 6 pieces all together. I'm just going to roll that into a ball. And just pop that on my floured part here just to rest a bit. Remember never to over knead your dough. It's really important. Guys, you don't need to be a professional to actually make kifli. It's not as hard as people think. This is why I'm doing this step-by-step video, so you guys can actually see. It's quite easy to follow. If all fails, try again. Here's my little one, Ethan. Say hi. Car. Yeah, he's got cars. Yeah. Cars. Okay, so I'm on my last one here. Okay. So make sure your board's floured so it doesn't stick to it. I punch it a little bit just to get it started. It's a good idea to actually have your room kind of warm. So if you're in Melbourne, I'm originally from Melbourne, so I know it's quite cold over there, even this time of the year. put a heater on or turn your oven on prior so to warm the house up. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it out. So I use this round cheese board for a reason. It actually gives me a good diameter of how, like what to roll it out to. So it's pretty good for me. If you can find one, I actually got this one at Target a few years back, but I'm sure they sell them everywhere. Okay, so almost finished. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can go over the edge. Alright, so I've got my pastry cutter here. I'm gonna cut it in, well, let's see, maybe 12. You guys can make them as big or small as you like, doesn't matter. Okay, so basically this is what we have. 12 pieces. Now I've got my mixture there ready to go. And teaspoon. And we're just going to put cheese. You can put as much as you like, but remember, when it's cooking, it might come out. It does tend to melt just a little. And people roll them up in different ways. Like a lot of people won't even cut them up like this. I think it's easier. So it's really up to you guys. Whatever you prefer. But I like this way, it's just easy. Okay, so what I'll do is I get the cheese and I put it to the middle as much as I can. And I grab the sides. I pull a little bit, fold it over. Fold the sides over and just roll. And there you have it. We'll come in closer so you can have a look. There you go. And I've got my tray here, which is already sprayed with oil. Don't fold them too tight because they will rise. And if you fold them tight and they rise, they might just, all the cheese will probably just come out. Twelve pieces. Now I've got my mixture there ready to go. And teaspoon. And we're just going to put cheese. You can put as much as you like, but remember, when it's cooking, it might come out. It does tend to melt just a little. And people roll them up in different ways. Like a lot of people won't even cut them up like this. I think it's easier. So it's really up to you guys. Whatever you prefer. But I like this way, it's just easy. Okay, so what I'll do is I get the cheese and I put it to the middle as much as I can. And I grab the sides. I pull a little bit, fold it over. Fold the sides over and just roll. And there you have it. We'll come in closer so you can have a look. There you go. And I've got my tray here, which is already sprayed with oil. Don't fold them too tight because they will rise. And if you fold them tight and they rise, they might just, all the cheese will probably just come out. Okay, so I've got my pastry cutter here. I'm going to cut it in, well, let's see, maybe 12. You guys can make them as big or small as you like, doesn't matter. Okay, so basically this is what we have. 12 pieces. second one out. There. So stretch it out a bit, fold over, fold in the side bits so you don't get the cheese coming out while it's cooking. I hope you guys can see this properly. Probably not, but if you can't, I'll do a little video where you can see. If you're wondering what that music in the background playing is, it's actually my Zumba playlist. Yeah, I know it's a totally different language, not Macedonian at all, but I'm training to become a Zumba instructor. So the more I play my music, the more I remember my moves. I'm rolling the dough out, cut it in 12, put my cheese on, and then I'm rolling it around. So I stretch it out, fold it in, squish it down a bit, and roll over. Like I said, there's heaps of different ways you can actually do this. You don't have to do it this way, but it's just, this is the easiest way to show anyone, especially someone new that has never made kifli before. This is the easiest way. And don't be scared to experiment with different shapes, it's okay. Okay, so my kifli, one tray is ready. Here we go. All done. Now I'm going to show you what I do before I pop them in the oven. So I've washed my hands, they're clean. I've got my margarine, so I just use my fingernails. Just pop a bit of butter on the top. What it does is it actually keeps them soft. If you don't have fingernails, use a spoon or a brush even, or like a cooking brush, whatever's easier for you. Okay, so they're all done. They've got their little bobs of butter on them. And now I'm going to put them in the oven for about 5 or so minutes. And then I'll pull them out and I'll brush on some egg on top, and I'll pop the sesame seed on top, but I'll show you that. So now this is the messy part, right? So I've got kifli a little bit baked. So egg on it, and then sprinkle. A little bit hard to do it with camera in my hand, but okay. You don't have to have sesame seeds on it, but my kids and my husband, we all like it with sesame seeds, so yeah. I'll finish the rest off and put them back in to bake. And there you have it. It's a shame you can't smell through the phone. It's awesome. Yum. So here we have our kifli that are ready, and I'm just going to bring a couple more. These ones are fresh out of the oven.